Hello and welcome back to Rev Endurance Sports. And today I would like to talk to you about SQ Lab saddles. Again, I have a series of videos on SQ Lab saddles. They're absolutely the best saddle I've ever ridden. And if you don't know my history, I do a lot of endurance riding, generally about 10,000 miles per year, generally about 1,000,000 feet per year. And centuries and double centuries and 500 milers, all kinds of endurance type racing. And this has been the absolute best saddle I've ever ridden. Now this has gone through several iterations. The 612 is what we're talking about, and the 612 Ergowave is what we're talking about. So this is the Ergowave 612R, and I absolutely cannot stand this saddle. And I've got a couple of them that I still need to get rid of. Maybe a rainy day project, I'll get rid of it on eBay or something, but it's just not good. I do not like short nose saddles, and so that's where we're at here with this 612R. Okay, anyway, there is a video about this as well on my channel. But what I wish to talk to you about today, if you'll allow me to give you my personal opinion on these saddles from someone who rides a lot. A Saturday ride is anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, or longer, as we get into double century season, which will start. This is January 5th, so in another month or two, we're going to start doing 200 milers here in Southern California. Okay, this one right here is an active saddle. So the 612 active, and active, basically it has this little rubber elastomer here, and what it does is it helps, like, let's say for example, maybe your hips move back and forth, or up, side to side, or stuff like that. But there's 3 different colors. So there's a white, a gray, and a black. And so white being the most movement allowed, gray in the middle, and then black for most, finger quote, rigidity of the 3. Now this is the active saddle. And for some reason, which is lost upon me, the active saddle sells more than the non-active saddle. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me, because I do not find the active saddle to be comfortable. I've ridden it now. I just did the Rev 310M challenge, which was a 310-mile challenge, which was a conversion, so from 500 kilometers of the Rafa 500 to the 310 miles in the imperial system. But I ended up doing 417 miles, and I did it all on this saddle. The first day I had this saddle on my fixed gear, and I did 126 miles on it, and that's fixed, so no coasting. So I was on this saddle the whole time, even while pedaling downhill. And then I switched this over to my multi-speed bike and rode the rest of the, so whatever, 417 minus the 126 from the first day. Then I did the rest of that on my multi-speed bike. On all my other bikes, this is the standard non-active saddle. Now I'm going to show you both of them side by side, and it might be difficult to show on the video, but this hole to me is smaller, right? This is where you're going to get your perineum relief, and then this ridge is more pronounced. It's not as smooth as the non-active saddle. Can you see the difference? And if you need to pause and rewind and pause and rewind. I'm trying to give you as much different angles so you could see the difference. I mean, it is so pronounced. You could just see how much, I hate to say it, but how much sharper the ridges are on the active saddle. So the first thing that I don't like about this saddle is those ridges. I don't like that. I also don't like the material. It's not as slick as the non-active saddle. These are both 15 centimeter saddles, so it's really important that you know that they are both 15 centimeter saddles. Now you notice the channel on this one lasts a little longer. Notice how much further forward this channel goes, and I've got the two saddles side by side, right? You can see that they are side by side. And the channel on the non-active saddle seems to go a little further down towards the nose of the saddle. So we have that channel or depression. I don't like the texture of it. I like to slide forward and back on my saddles. The other thing is, it just never made sense to me why you would want a saddle that moves on you. It just, to me, just doesn't make sense. But as I mentioned, this saddle, or the active saddles, 14 active in particular, sells like hotcakes, whereas the 14 non-active doesn't sell. Even though I give folks the recommendation often, please buy the non-active saddle because it's more comfortable. Please buy the non-active saddle because it's more comfortable. I must say it at least 5 or 6 times during our conversation, and yet they still buy the active. I don't get it. And chances are, I will take a wild ass guess that they get the active saddle. Maybe there's a placebo effect that goes on in their head. Oh, I've got an active saddle. I've got the SQ Lab. I got the 612. I got everything that I'm supposed to have. This feels way better than my other saddle. So yes, I'm going to keep it. It's great. But I believe that the non-active saddle is much more comfortable. And if they are comfortable on the active saddle, they're going to be even more comfortable on the non-active saddle. Okay? Now, there is a small section of the population that gets on the active saddle because they were sold that it's a great saddle. It's got the movement. It's got this. It's got that. And it's not comfortable, or it's not more comfortable than what they're currently riding. So they're like, well, okay, I just spent $200 on a saddle that is not more comfortable than what I'm riding. But had they gone with the non-active saddle, they would have been more comfortable. I don't know what else to say, but here in the shop, I don't sell active saddles. I don't, because the customer gets an opportunity to ride both saddles. And usually if I put on a non-active saddle, they're like, don't take it off. It's perfect. We dialed it perfectly. You know, the saddle tilt is perfect. The fore and aft is perfect. The height is perfect. Leave it. You know, order another one to backfill your stock, but let's keep this one on here. And I'm like, oh, I can order you a new one. No, I'll take this demo. It's fine. You know, it's just got a little bit of, when the saddle rails get bit by the clamp, it just takes off a little bit of the paint, but that's all. I've had these saddles for years and they wear extremely well. And like I said, they're nice and slick, so your bib shorts don't get stuck to it, and you ride. And honestly, this is a significantly more comfortable saddle, non-active, significantly more comfortable than the active. So I just don't understand why the active sells more. Okay, well, that's all for today. If you found this information useful, if you found it educational, if you'd like to discuss saddle options for you. You shoot me an email. We'll get on the phone. In the past, I've done FaceTime with folks, and I don't know any other bike shop that does that. So I look to provide exceptional customer service to my customers. But this channel is not only about selling, it's about education. So please take a look at an SQ Lab saddle if you're having some saddle issues. And please try both. Please try the active and the non-active saddle. And please leave a comment down below if you think, or what you think, which saddle worked out better for you. Okay, well, that's all for today. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you up the road.